right, so we may be seated. So usually we kind of stop the service at this time, but as promised and as I was reminded by Jamie before he, I think he's not there anymore. Before he left this morning, I wanted to teach for a couple of minutes on a topic that kind of came up by chance and then was kind of came up by chance again. So Jonathan, I remember you sharing with us so beautifully on Monday the teaching from your mom about how when the Torah is carried around the community, and you want to greet someone because, oh, hey, we're seeing our friends, it's Shabbos morning, whatever, you never turn your back on the Torah. That when you have the Sefer Torah coming out, or when we have the Sefer Torah really any time, it's our practice and our responsibility to keep our focus on that, because the Sefer Torah is really the holiest object in Judaism. And so this connects to something that, a conversation that I was having on Sunday, but before Sunday, with Cantor Dale Schatz and Rabbi Karen Eisenberg, are two amazing people who also serve this community. And so it all started where we were having some conversations about our B'nai Mitzvah process. What does this look like? What do we expect people to do? What's the minimum? What's the maximum? And so there's some emails back and forth, and Cantor's emailing is as creative as the rest of him. And so so he sent an email back, so something very specific. He was like, can we make sure that the photographers know to not take photos of the students holding the Torah scroll unless they're also wearing a talit at the same time? And I'm like, okay, first of all, that's very specific. Second of all, I don't know of any halakha that mandates that, so there must be a reason. And so what's the reason? And so we got together this past Sunday to talk about a number of things, myself, Cantor, and Rabbi Eisenberg. And so I asked him, what is the deal with wearing the talis when the student is holding the Torah? I don't have any objection, but I just want to understand where you're coming from. And he spoke about the importance of respect for the Sefer Torah and knowing that this is a sacred object. And, it's not necessarily halakha that you have to be wearing a talis to hold a Torah scroll, but there's a lot of things about the B'nai Mitzvah process that are not halakha, and there are lots of things that we can do to teach our students that aren't necessarily specifically Jewish law, but to teach them respect for the Sefer Torah. You got to wear a talis when you're holding this thing. It's not just you can pick it up whenever you want. This is something that you have to be very careful with and respectful of. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. I'm on board. Sounds good to me. Wonderful. But then he talked about what he does personally. And he said when he comes into this room and he has to walk over to the Cantor zone, as we love the Cantor zone, he's walking over to the Cantor zone, he doesn't just walk up and cross in front of the Torah scroll on the bima. He goes all the way around, because he shows respect. Even when no one else is here, he shows respect for this space and for the Aron Kodesh by not walking in front of it casually. And I was like, Cantor, you're amazing. It's just one of those moments where it's like the holiness of his soul shines through and teaches me and our whole community. And I just wanted to share that with you and with us, and also bring that awareness. And it's amazing how this week you brought that awareness to us through the memory of your mom so beautifully. And I think it's something that we can really take to heart as Minyanaires, knowing that this space on the bima, it's not a space like off the bima. This is a space for our Sefer Torah. This is a space for Kedusha, for holiness. And we want to make sure that, for example, when the Aron Kodesh is open, we want to be standing, even if the service is over. If the Aron Kodesh is open, we don't want to be standing with our back to it, and because this is not just our community and our practice. This is a piece of Jewish tradition that we are making real here at Adat Shalom. And so just wanted to bring back that teaching, and Yasher Koach, again, thank you for sharing it. Yasher Koach to Cantor Dale Schatz, who I hope watches this recording at some point. And Yasher Koach to you all for our learning. Wow, we have 3 questions. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, and then 3. Go for it.
So when you say he walks all the way around, if I'm correct, that doesn't mean that in the front down the steps, he walks all the way around the back, right?
I am not clear from what I remember of what he said, whether, okay, so people have seen this. Okay, great. Verified. Yes.
Yes, well, Moshe didn't take the straight route to the promised land.
Hey, Moshe did not take the straight route to the promised land.
You need more time to be aware of where you are.
That's a Yasher Koach. That resonates for me this week. We need time to be aware of where we are. Amazing. And yes.
I think that's Torah when we hear it, when it's those of us that dance with the Torah or, walk with the
Yes, Ah. Okay, so we're sharing some personal experiences on Simchas Torah. The practice in the community has been put on a talit before you hold the Torah when you're dancing with it. Shkoach. All right, shkoach, shkoach. Thank you all. If you want to keep learning, come to the library at 9. Hope to see some of you there, and a happy Thursday. Woo! And Shabbat Shalom to those who I don't see before Shabbos.